Fighting does not make you a hero.
What if I promise to be careful? Just a shield, then.
Diana.
No sharp edges.
Be careful of mankind, Diana. They do not deserve you.
You've told me this story.
What is this place? Who are you people?
We are the bridge to a greater understanding.
Right.
What is your mission?
Well, here's the thing. You are in more danger than you think. The boys in the trenches called her Dr. Poison. Millions would die. The war would never end.
I'm going, Mother. If you choose to leave, you may never return. Who will I be if I stay?
Will come when you will have to rise.
To the war.
Well, technically the war's that way, but we gotta go this way first.
How can a woman fight in this? Ooh.
Who's this young woman?
She's my,
Diana, Princess of the Mist.
Prince. Diana Prince. If you believe that this war should stop, help me stop it right now. What are you?
You will soon find out.
Wonder Woman, rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX 3D June 2nd.
Hey!
Yo, what's up?
So what's up? You're listening to Active FM.
I'm Ryan,
And I'm Sash.
and this is
The movie show.
Yay!
Yeah. Round of applause for the movie show.
We're glad that you can join us.
Yeah.
Today we've got an exciting lineup.
we
This is
do.
an exciting show.
This is.
We're glad that you're tuning. We will
We
not
are.
disappoint you.
No, we won't.
The movie might, but we won't.
Shit, wasn't that bad, Ryan?
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't bad at all.
So today we are looking at the one, the only Wonder Woman. Da, 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 da. I don't. That's Superman. Hey. Okay.
DC.
No, I'm saying that sound effect that I just made. No, it's that da 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 da.
Careful, they might just block us on YouTube for that.
Sorry, guys.
No.
Yeah, so we're looking at Wonder Woman, and it's obviously a DC film.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into this, I would just like to say, don't hate me. Don't
I
try
think
to
you're the fourth
assassinate me.
person that is good. If you're gonna say what I think you're gonna say, you're the fourth person I've heard say this. But continue.
Okay, I'm not a fan of DC.
Yep, I knew
Okay,
it. I
yeah,
knew it.
I'm not
I knew it.
really. I don't really. Superman, Batman.
Why? Why though?
I honestly, when I watched Superman, the latest, so they like remade it, and then the first one came out. What was
Yes.
it called? Superman: Dawn
Man of Steel or something.
Man of Steel, yes. I didn't connect with it. Like I remember watching it, and when you just like, this is boring. Like that's honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't. There was no. I didn't like it. There was no connection. There was nothing.
It was just.
And even I've watched Batman before in the past. I don't think I've seen the one. I don't think I've seen the one with Ben Affleck. No, I think I have. I don't know.
I might have seen parts though.
What was Justice Dawn of what? Justice Dawn of I have no idea what that movie was called. It was so long ago. Yeah, but anyway, so
I don't even
I
know
just
what you're
never
talking
connected with. I'm not a fan of DC. I don't really like. I know Batman versus Superman. I never watched it
I watched during research of this. I watched some of their stuff.
because Wonder Woman's in it,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
And obviously, yeah, I'm not really. But I'll be honest, this wasn't that bad. Like I actually, when you're like, okay, let's watch a DC movie. I almost forgot it was a DC movie. That's honestly,
Yeah, true.
like, I didn't feel like I was watching.
So weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about DC though. do we have any DC fans out there? You know, support DC and post on Facebook.
Right?
Haha.
Right?
If you don't, then you're not a DC fan.
Yeah, then you're
Yeah.
like, you're just...
So that includes Flash. It includes Superman, Spider-Man, like any of the guys.
Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm thinking Spider-Man, Marvel.
Superman, Batman, Flash, and all those other guys that come along with it.
Wonder Woman.
Support, yes, Wonder Woman. Support DC, because we're not, by posting on our Facebook, by commenting on our Instagram, by Instagramming your DC poster or your outfit or whatever, and support.
But though we're saying that, I know Ryan came up with this idea, and I think it actually is very cool to actually bring out a movie where it's DC versus Marvel. Like, I think that will be the top.
Apparently, there's a game like that.
Serious.
And then I asked, but now imagine bringing out the movie.
I think people would flock for that, because you've got your Marvel fans, you've got your DC fans, you've got both type of fans. I personally would think I would hope for Marvel to win. That's just my personal opinion.
Here's an idea. Imagine they did that, so Marvel versus Superman, because so for example, you got Wonder Woman, and then you got on Marvel's side you got
Captain America.
Captain America, and that's how we sort of see it.
Yeah.
Every person has their you know, each side has their person with similar.
Yeah, no.
Now imagine they screened it, so they released it, and on the first day of screening they only played it once.
What?
So in other words, everybody would flock to see it, and after that they won't screen it again at the theaters. Imagine how many people would go see it at that one time that it's screened.
I think they'd have to close the movie. I think every movie cinema would have to play that movie at that one time.
You understand? That's what I'm saying. Imagine
Yeah.
that everybody on the same day. So even though they were different time zones, it only
That
played
is
it
actually
at once.
such a cool idea.
Just imagine how many people would flock to go see the battle.
Oh.
This epic battle of who's going to win.
And then you're not allowed to say who won.
Well, no, I don't know how you set
Yeah,
that rule there.
I don't know,
because-
but that would be cool though. Like, you have to watch it too. Yeah, no shame. That is cool.
It's a brilliant
That
idea.
I imagine it being a very long movie though.
Yeah, probably.
Like extreme.
And everybody would wear their Marvel or their DC
Yeah.
shirts and stuff like that.
Anyway, so that was just us going off on a tangent.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a cool idea.
But we're Marvel fans.
Yeah, we are Marvel fans.
Completely.
Mhm.
Who's your favorite character in Marvel?
Loki.
Loki. Sure.
Ah,
He is awesome.
he is awesome.
I don't know if I have a favorite character.
Yeah, it's shame.
Marvel. They're all cool.
Who is that? Wait, there was one person. Was that even Marvel? Okay, never mind.
What are the most recent? Thor?
Spider-Man. Black Panther's coming
Yes.
out.
Yeah, the Marvel
Captain
Universe.
America.
Captain America.
Captain America Civil
I
War.
must say Captain America is awesome.
He is awesome. But I loved the first Captain America film. But I'm like that. I like.
No, I like the second one.
Is it? No, you
Yeah.
see, I like the first one more than the second one, and then the third one was good again.
Yes.
So like the second one was like,
See, so they're doing well.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're like fitting for everyone.
Mm.
So back to Wonder Woman. The budget for this film was $149 million US.
And they did very
So
well.
it was quite a big budget, but it was quite a big budget. And then the box office was $821 million US. So they really did well. They really, but you know why? And this, I've actually got a fact on it. Do you know that this movie Wonder Woman has been in development for 20 years basically?
That's
now
right.
it started in 1996. That is when they haven't brought out a Wonder Woman since Superman's a dime a dozen type of thing. Whereas
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, since I don't know before that, but 1996 they've been in preparation to the film. I mean that's over what, 10 years. Yes, it is over 10. No, it's over 20 years.
Yeah, it is.
It's 20 years. And I know that they actually eyed out Sandra Bullock to play Wonder Woman,
Back
but
then.
that was back then. I think that was still in the 1990s. And obviously, what happened was it went from one producer, then he gave it up, and then it went to another script writer, and then they gave it up, then it went to another producer, and then eventually it fell into the hands of the people that made this
Why
one.
are they choosing like skinny chicks, if I can put it that way? Like Wonder Woman, I picture her like this sort of more
Muscular.
buffo, muscular looking
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, I have another interesting fact, but I'll only tell it later on.
Oh, I was just thinking about it. Even with Sandra
So, yeah, because she is quite.
Also, same sort of figure
Yeah.
type of thing.
Okay, you know what? Let me just say it now. So the chick that plays the movie, her name is Gal Gadot. She's an Israeli. You can hear it from the accent.
Oh my
like,
goodness.
yeah.
I thought she was like Greek or something.
No, she's Israeli. And
Wow.
basically, when people first heard that she was going to play Wonder Woman, there was like people that were skeptical because she's actually very skinny. But she underwent a serious body transformation for the role. In fact, she worked so hard that she gained about 17 pounds of muscle
Yes.
for the role. She was reluctant to do it, but now that she's done it, she actually says she feels much healthier and stronger. But she literally she's kept it up because the first film she appeared in was Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Now this is the second time she's appeared as Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman, and she actually, if you look at the two movies, she's kept her body.
Yeah,
built up.
she didn't
Yeah.
look different between the two.
No,
Yeah.
but she did. She was still skinny, but I think she did build muscle.
Yeah, and she's not to be messed with
No.
because one thing that I will say about this film that was really awesome was the fighting. And apparently she went through, I think it was 5 months of training.
Sure.
So she can really do martial arts and like really kick people's.
She was in
Yeah,
Fast and Furious, eh?
Was she? Who?
She was the chick with that Chinese Japanese guy.
Could she fight there?
She was the chick that she rode on a bike.
Oh, is it?
Do not remember who I'm talking about.
Which Fast and Furious? Which one specifically? I've only watched like two, I
The
think.
one where they were in Brazil. And there was another one.
I watched 7 because of Paul Walker, and I watched.
7. Which was the one where he died? Was it 7?
Yeah, it was just 7.
So I think it was between 5 and 6. I think she was in 5 and 6.
I haven't watched 6.
But yeah, shame. It's Fast and Furious are just like
Yeah, it's another story.
right all together.
Literally another story.
Yes.
I'm not being figurative speaking. I'm really. It was another story.
So, in terms of storyline, for me, I thought the storyline was quite good because, okay, I don't know Wonder Woman. I've never read even Marvel comics. I've never read the comics. For me, when the movie introduces me to the complete story, so for me, I didn't know where this was going. Like when it started, it was like, okay, then they went on an island, and I was like, what is happening? I didn't remember Wonder Woman looking like this from the trailer. And then as it went along, like the story built up, and you started understanding more. And I mean, I personally think there was a huge twist in the plot. Like what happens is so basically I'll just give you a very brief outline. So Zeus apparently had a son, and Zeus created the human race. So according to the film, Zeus created the human race, but then his son Ares became jealous basically of the race and wanted to destroy them. And then there was this epic battle where Zeus his lightning bolted him but then died, which I still don't get because how can a god die? But anyway, so what happens is that he then also makes this island of these Amazons, which Wonder Woman is a part of, to basically they're called Amazons.
What's that?
It's their tribe. What they called Amazons.
Amazons.
Yeah. So basically, what they do is they protect. They're there to like protect the human race and also to keep it good and pure and all of that. But Ares is obviously still alive, and so what Zeus does is he puts like this invisible force around the island so that they can't see the island. So only once you pass the force can you actually see the island. But anyway, the whole story goes, and the story is based on World War I, and Wonder Woman believes that Ares is basically like corrupting all the hearts of man to basically now cause them to fight. So she believes that if she kills Ares, all the fighting will stop. So everyone will just be at peace. So what she, on her whole journey, is to find Ares and kill him. But now while you're going along, you're thinking, this chick, is she mad? Because obviously no one believes her, because I mean, imagine someone coming and saying, World War I will stop as soon as I kill Ares, Zeus's son. You'll be like, what type of thing?
We need to destroy the enemy.
Right? So you're not sure, is Ares really real? Is she just going off on her own tangent?
Yeah.
And then there's a plot twist. Ares was real. There's a plot twist on who it was, because you think it's this one guy, but then it turns out to be the other guy, and you're like, oh, I never saw that coming. Yeah. So from a storyline, it's the storyline I think was
Sounds
good.
cool. That actually sounds cool.
It was a good storyline. You were like, you needed to watch it to find out what happened.
Definitely. Definitely. I totally agree with you with that one.
Yes. So character acting.
I liked her bravery along the way, like the unexpected next minute she'd come out and that type of stuff, which was pretty cool. Yeah. The one thing that I will say, and I don't know why, I don't know who decided whether it was the director. What was her name?
Her name, it's a her, by the way.
Yes.
A woman directed this film.
That's
Her name
right.
is Patty Jenkins.
And the shots were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
I must agree. Very, very good and very unusual shots in some of the stuff. She was very detailed on certain things. I noticed that, like, for example, there would be a long shot, then she would kick. It would, like, change to, like, a close-up, specifically where she kicked the other person. And then it would sort of come up their face. Just little things like that, which was very, very awesome. So, the camera shots are very awesome. But the way that she jumps is still... it's the only thing that's freaking me out that freaked me out about the movie. The way she jumps. Like... She's just running, and next minute she just... Now, obviously, yeah, okay, fine. She's a... What do you want to call it? Goddess?
I'm going to give a
something,
spoiler alert.
something with supernatural...
There's something about her.
Yeah, there's that thing about her. And she's just running, and next minute she just lifts. And her legs are like... Woo. But, and, you know, instead of it being a bit more realistic, where she jumps, and then, you know, where you just sort of... Just to give yourself momentum, you sort of just lower yourself just that little bit. You know, just try and jump. You'll see before you jump, you got to lower yourself that little bit to jump. Yeah, at least that or something like that. You know, there was just this, like, I don't know. It's like she was I don't know, cockroach or something. Just not even a cockroach does that, but I don't know. That was the only thing that really just freaked me out.
Sure.
Yeah.
But do you know something, that the Amazons were, so that's where she comes from, her people. It's a whole bunch of girls that fight epically, basically.
Yeah.
But they were trained by the same people who worked on 300.
There you go.
So but the fight scenes, they were very good, as Ryan said.
They were
really,
very good. 5 months
yeah.
of training, so she knows how to fight. She knows how to do martial arts. Don't mess with her, guys or girls.
or anyone
Yeah.
of that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought the character acting was very strong. She's a good actress. She really is. The women were good actresses. The men were good. The only thing, okay, I have one issue with one of the people in this film. So, as I said, Arius turns out to be another person, but basically he turns out to be a British gentleman. So he's in the form of like a British gentleman. So at first he appears as him, and then you're like, okay. Then he transforms into like the guard with armor, but they still had the same guy inside the armor. So it looked like this English gentleman with this like armor.
Right.
And it just, for me, it just didn't fit. Like, he should have transformed and looked something, you know, if he's this evil, epic dude that's scary and everything, he can't look like a British English
should be epic.
gentleman. Right?
Like put a rest
Like
on-
literally, or like there was the one shot where they showed his armor by the eyes, and the armor was open, yeah, so you could see his eyes, and it was like,
wrinkly skin.
what? Why is that? Why? What? And I mean, she's immortal. You get that from the film because she's in World War I, and then modern day she still looks exactly the same. So she's
So why
immortal.
can't he?
So why isn't he? Why is he old? Why does he have wrinkles?
We're gonna
Why?
make a video about this on YouTube.
Right.
You know, everything wrong about one.
Well, no,
one-
but honestly, that was one of the. It was, for me, it was the only issue I had with the film. Okay, no, there were two issues I had with the film. That was the first one. I was like, this doesn't fit. Like, why does he still look like that? Like, please, like, I understood
They
he
should
was,
get a wrestler from WWF.
right, they should have, or something, like something scary. Like, at first it was fine, you know, like he was in disguise, he
Wonder
had taken
Woman.
the form of,
Featuring, what's his name? Dwayne Johnson.
no, even him, it wouldn't have fit. He's too
Just imagine,
nice.
imagine him rocking up there. What did you say?
But it needed to be something like that. Yeah, it was just that for me. That just didn't click. I was just like, no.
Oh, him? We're scared of him all this time.
Really?
Just kick him. quickly.
Like the original guy that you thought. So basically, General Ludendorff, who was actually he's a history figure. There is a General Ludendorff in the First World War. So he was in this film, and at first you think it's him. And I mean, he looked like it more than the actual Arius did. Like, would have been better if they stuck with the plot twist. That was good, but the look was just like,
So it sort of fell through.
You're like, why isn't she defeating him? He's so old. Like, just slap him once, and you know all his
Brother.
teeth will fall out.
Sister,
Or like, grandfather.
pass me. Pass me my phone tooth, that please. I need my teeth so I can talk to you.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
But otherwise, the acting was very strong. That was quite an interesting film from an accent perspective. As I said, she's Israeli, and I mean she has
still had the accent
she
in
still
the-
has the accents. They had a Scottish guy involved. They had there were a lot of British accents because they obviously went to the UK. But it was like a different film. It wasn't like your normal, like Captain America, if I can put it like that.
Where everyone's American.
Yeah. Except for the chick that comes from Britain. But yeah, so for me the character acting was very, very good. Now, just, guys, you're not going to believe this. I was shocked as well. Gal Gadot was pregnant during shooting. Yes, Wonder Woman was pregnant during shooting. So basically, when the movie went back for reshoots, she was 5 months pregnant. The production team worked around it by putting green fabric, essentially a green screen, in front of her belly.
Why didn't I see that? Serious?
Yeah. I was also, guys, you can be pregnant these days and still be Black Widow. She was also pregnant during
Yeah.
filming. You can be Wonder Woman,
Check out that show.
right? Yeah.
Which one was that one?
It was the Active FM Talk Plus.
Oh, right. Yes, that one.
So yeah, right. Like that's insane. She was pregnant.
So they obviously had to be careful. But then wait, she did the 5 months of training.
But I think it was. They said in the reshoot, so they obviously filmed and then maybe came back, and by that time she was 5 months.
So it affected her in the reshoot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes total sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Shame.
So just something about, I should have mentioned this around the box office. The film set numerous box office records, including becoming the highest grossing film directed by a woman. So well done. The biggest domestic open for a film directed by a woman. The highest grossing superhero origin film in the United States and worldwide, as well as the largest opening for a female-led comic book film.
Sure.
Wonder Woman also is also the 5th highest grossing superhero film domestically and 20th highest grossing film in the United States. It has grossed over, as we said, 820 million worldwide, making it the 7th highest grossing film of 2017 already. It also helped the DCEU to push past 3 billion at the worldwide box office, making it the 7th highest grossing film franchise of all time.
Sure.
Yes, and then I was just looking at some of the people involved in post-production. That's basically where I focused a lot on. There were two guys. There was one guy in particular that I was quite interested in, and it was basically the visual effects supervisor. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Maybe you can help me, Sashi. Bill Westenova.
Yeah.
Westenova. All right. Now, obviously, he's worked for Rhythm and Hues, which we have mentioned previously before about Rhythm and Hues. So it was quite interesting to see him again. But just to see the other films that he worked on as well. So just knowing that, what this guy was involved. So basically, Chronicles of Narnia,
Really?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was nominated for an Oscar. Best. Okay, let's say he would win the BAFTA for the Golden Compass, and also he was involved in obviously Life of Pi, and during the he was also the guy that basically during when the Life of Pi had won their award, he was the one who spoke basically at the Academy, and they cut his mic because of, I don't know, do you call it political issues in the type of stuff like. So he was the supervisor and that, and I know that I think it's a completely different role from what it sounds like, because even though he works for Rhythm and Hues, I don't think he specifically does the effects himself.
He's more supervisors.
He just sort of supervises and directs, so what's required. But I know that there were 2 other companies that were involved that he then obviously chose. Okay, I want you guys to to do the visual effects and that type of stuff for it. So yeah.
So just this is basically just a few interesting facts on the main actress. So as I said, it's Gal Gadot. She's got an amazingly weird name. Imagine her being Gal.
I was like, hey, that girl.
That Gal.
Yeah, hey, that girl.
That basically, when she auditioned for the role, she had no clue what she was auditioning for. All she knew that it was a secret role. So literally, she got the lines, and you have no idea what the story is, and who your character is. But basically, the director invited her for a camera test, and she read the lines, and she was given the role. Like, yeah,
That's weird.
right.
But that's cool.
Then the movie is banned in Lebanon due to the country's conflict with Israel.
Really?
So obviously she's
because of her?
Israeli, and she served in the Israelites military, and she spoke out against Hamas in a 2014 Facebook post. So this film Wonder Woman is banned in Lebanon. Shame.
Wow.
Now, the director Patty Jenkins, she had to fight for the no man's land scene to make the cut. So basically, in the film, there's a scene where she goes through no man's land, like literally walks, and obviously they can't shoot her, they can't kill her. But apparently, she had to argue with some of the people for the scene to basically be in the film. She says it's my favorite scene in the movie, and it's the most important scene in the movie. And she says it's also the scene that made the least sense to other people going in, which is why it's a wonderful victory for me. So she actually had to fight for that scene to be in the movie.
Wow.
Right? And then I think the last one was, if I can just find it. Yes. Prior to getting the role of Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot was considering giving up acting. So she was going to give up acting.
When? Before or after this?
Before she was going to be Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah?
So she basically said the rejection, it's like really tough. I don't understand what rejection. Maybe the rejection of not getting roles.
Professional rejection, dude, and stuff. Maybe, yeah, I think it
It would be
probably
the
will
roles.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you said, she's been in other movies, so which means that she would have tried for other movies and she probably would have been rejected. That was something that I read up about the director as well. She had previous films, a lot of previous films which had fallen through.
Yeah. You don't know Patty Jenkins.
She was supposed to be involved in Thor,
Ragnarok.
Yes.
Serious?
Yes.
And then?
And she left.
Oh.
She just said, okay, cheers guys.
Maybe she liked DC more than
Maybe
Marvel.
DC was like, hey, come with us. Type of thing.
It was a rivalry, yeah. And then the director says that Gal Gadot was the one who would break character and laugh the most on set.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Maybe that's why. No, anyway.
Yes, so that was just interesting facts on Gal Gadot.
Something else I looked at, which I've never really looked at, was the editor. The editor popped up, so please help
Martin
me with his name.
Walsh?
I was going to say Marsh.
Moshe.
Martin Walsh. He's a very well-known actor. I don't know if anybody has watched the 1995 Hackers. It was one of my favorite movies, so he was editor there. I don't know if you can see any movies that stick out that you know. I'll go to the... So obviously Justice League, he's the Justice League. Wonder Woman, obviously, Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella, no.
Wrath of the Titans.
I recognize
Prince
it.
of Persia, Clash of the Titans. Yeah, there's a lot of movies. I'm sure he's been in the industry for a long
For
time.
a long time, yeah, since
So,
the 1980s.
yeah,
No, 1990s.
Yeah, so he's the editor of
Wonder
basically Wonder Woman, yes.
Now, for me, just to the one, so I said earlier there were two things I didn't like about the film. The first was the evil guy was just. Yeah.
There's actually three, because you don't like the jump either, don't you?
Oh, the jump didn't really bother me.
I don't know, just
So,
the way she's doing her leg like that, it's just like,
for me, it was just like, okay, she's a superhero.
it's a bit flawless.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, but the other thing was, obviously she's a woman superhero, and they actually brought in a lot of sexual connotations, which was for me completely unnecessary. Like, it really, like, there was also one scene where the one guy was literally naked. They don't show you anything, but like he's naked and she's staring at him, and you know he's naked, and you know she's staring at him and he's naked, and you're like, why are they? So, you know, there's like unnecessary things. Like, for me, it's completely unnecessary. They don't need to put in the film. It didn't add anything to the film. If they took it out, they still could have done the exact same dialogue. They just could have been somewhere else with clothes on, you know. And then there were they were just, it was just, some of the dialogue wasn't kosher. It wasn't a lot though. It was mainly in the beginning of the film. By the end of the film, it was okay. But yeah, it's unnecessary, and yeah, it's stupid for me. And
So whether they had it in or not would have not made a
it wouldn't have
difference,
mattered.
right? That's
But now,
ridiculous.
interestingly enough, there was a lot of VFX in the film. Obviously, if you've watched it, you'd know there are a lot of VFX in the film.
Yes, I wanted to talk about the
Yes.
VFX.
Ryan,
My goodness.
Yes, Ryan had a complaint on that. So Ryan had two, I had two. So tell us, Ryan, what was your complaint?
Oh, yes. Okay, so literally, we've spoken about Michael Bay before, right?
Yeah.
And we've spoken about how we love, what we enjoy is that he really explodes cars, and he doesn't overuse the thing of VFX. He uses it correctly where it's needed.
You did, yeah.
All right. In fact, the way that I'm talking, it almost sounds like I'm against VFX. I love VFX, but it needs to be in its proper place type of
Yeah.
thing. And over here, like, I just found looking at a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, they really, like, they overused VFX.
Yeah.
That's just like, for example, stuff where it was really unnecessary. So Michael Bay would really push her through a window, obviously with safety, maybe her stunt double or whatever. But over here, like, the window was really broken, and then, you know, then they sent her through. Then in VFX, they would add in the glass shattering and stuff like that. It looks cool in the movie. It's awesome in the movie, but it just looks so much better when it's real.
Yeah.
And then plus, like, the background was a set extent. There was so much set
There
extension.
was a lot of green screen.
And
yeah.
only the ones where I saw was she was running into the town, and she ran the corner and the explosion went off, and she sort of just shielded it off. Now that was a real explosion. So they was like, hey, okay, awesome. And then plus, obviously I would have bumped into Batman versus Superman in their VFX, and everything is like VFX, everything. Like, the guys, they're in a fight and there's bodies laying around, and even the bodies is VFX.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
They're laying on the ground there, and it's VFX.
So they couldn't get extras to just lie dead?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You know, and so it was just like, really, guys? It's just.
For me, though, thinking about it, Marvel also uses a lot of VFX. I think the best person who's gotten the balance between VFX and real is Michael Bay.
Yeah, it's Michael Bay.
Transformers, really, they've gotten the right balance of using VFX, obviously, where needed, where you actually really can't do it. If you do it in real life, it will look pathetic. And then, like, doing other things that look better, not VFX. So with Avengers, they still have a lot of VFX.
I see the same in the Marvel movies as well.
Yeah.
Where it's well controlled.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's very,
It's well controlled, yeah.
well controlled.
There were a few times, I'll be honest, I could see green screen, so you know, but you can actually see the green screen behind the person. Like there were a couple of times where I actually was like, yeah, that's so green screen type of thing. Yeah.
Like the set extension and stuff like that.
Yeah. But otherwise, it wasn't bad for a DC film. I wasn't disappointed. I was actually like, that wasn't that bad. I actually didn't. I found myself interested. Yeah. It was much better than Superman, in my opinion. Like, way better, just from a interesting perspective. Yeah. So, guys, go check it out.
Like I said, I like the way shots were cut, specific shots were used and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
The only thing is, okay, I won't mention. Do you want me to mention the spoiler alert?
We've already.
So she falls in love with the guy, and he dies.
That's good.
And yes, that's what I actually. For me, this
I
is
like
this is DC's Captain America. Like everything, the fact that it was set back in the day in World War I, the fact that the love died. Okay, obviously and she's immortal, so she fell in love with the mortal. It was Captain America in DC form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
But Captain America's better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
shame.
just my opinion.
Right. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of Wonder Woman.
And just by the way, what is his name? The guy that plays Captain America. I can't think of his name now. Chris something.
Not Hemsworth. They're both Chris's.
Yes.
It's Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. In the one scene with the helicopter, he was really holding the helicopter and the thing. Okay. Anyway.
He actually hurt himself. Anyway, that's for a completely different time.
I'll just throw that one in.
Yeah. So this is Wonder Woman.
It's just my opinion. My opinion counts. So that was Wonder Woman.
Yeah, this was Wonder Woman. And guys, we hope you enjoyed our show.
Please remember that obviously if you're listening to the show, we've also got on our YouTube page to go check us out. So you go into YouTube, on the top there you see the search button. If you're on YouTube, it's that one on top there. And you're searching Active FM Movie Show. Active FM Movie Show, one word. And you will see the photo of me and Sashi over there. You click on that one. You can check out all our other shows. And then also, if you look on Active FM, go check out the other speakers that are there.
Yep.
They are freaking awesome.
Really
absolutely
awesome.
fantastic. Like I said, I've subscribed on my phone to the podcast. So a thing pops up saying new show of whatever. And yeah, just like.
And guys, go follow us on Instagram. The Active FM on Instagram. Yes. It's really awesome. They put such cool stuff up. You know,
post stuff.
They post stuff of things coming up. Yes. It's really, really cool.
In fact, during the show, I did a live Instagram thing. So if you were subscribed to, one of either my or whatever Instagram. I suppose we should get an active Instagram. Right, but then in that case you would have gotten a heads up about the show.
Yes.
About
Yeah.
coming up. Then maybe before you watch anyway. Yeah.
Get a taste.
Yes.
Yes. So, guys, we're really glad you listened to our show.
Yeah.
I'm Sash,
I'm Ryan
and we'll see you next time.
on the movie show.
Yeah.
Toodaloo.